then if I was kind of thinking, right, well, you've got to remember how these tables interact with each other. So it depends what I want to know. Do I want to know what was bought, or do I want to know how many customers spent last month? So if I wanted just a flag on the name table to say these customers spent in January, I'd create another flag in the name table and just ask it to find the maximum of that variable if I've done a 1, 0, yeah? Mm-hmm. If I want to know what someone's bought and I just want to do something quite quick, I could actually just take this straight to, I'm going to have to make this smaller again, a cross tab. So I'll show you in a second.
Can I just ask something? When you did that mark on the February and January, can I also see it if I have Alterian open so everybody can see what you have marked?
Yeah. But what you can't do is edit anything that I created.
Okay.
So I'll just do this quickly. So if I go in here, I can see this transaction last month which I just created. Yeah. If I right click and then do edit, I can change this now and amend it. So it might be that I want that to be, in fact I'm going to change this to be a 1 and it to be a 0 actually, and not have more than one if statement, just because it'll be easier. So I can do that, but you can't do that.
Okay.
So, and you wouldn't be able to see how I've built that variable. And that's where it becomes really important to use, say, the iLoader scripting, because that's how you can replicate and know exactly how you've built something.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that should be a 1, 0 now. Yeah, and it is. So, what was I going to do? I was going to... so this bit here is a crosstab functionality. This is really useful, the crosstab. You can create standard or multi-dimensional tables. I like doing multi-dimensional ones just because I'm strange. But if I just do that, and because all the tables are automatically linked, I can now just go to, where is it? The transactional. So I can just go to the detail. And be able to department code, I think it is. By department code, I'll do a count of that. So that will be the amount of items, and then I'll put in the purchase amount there. So I calculate that, and it has a little busy thing to be calculating it. And then that'll just tell me how many items were bought in what department in the last month. But also, because I've put the 1 and 0 on here, it's telling me how many people have ever bought within those departments as well, or not within the last month. So I can add loads of different things in here. It's taken a while, I think it's, So you can then, it does it in this strange little graph, which isn't particularly useful. So here's the grid. So I can go down here and put to Excel, and it'll automatically put it into Excel, hopefully. seems to be taking a while, and I think it's, yeah, so that's in Excel, so I can now do could use that to say, of those people spending in the last month, they're more likely to have spent in bedrooms and generally.
Yeah.
Probably not the way I do this, something like this, but it's indicative of how you can play around with the data quite quickly and just get a count out. Also, note that I've done it again and I've made a mistake because I probably only wanted that for Sweden or Denmark. I probably didn't want to do it for both. So if I was to do that again, I'd probably put a filter on here and then put the header. There should be a client ID here, and I'll just do it for Denmark just because Denmark's easier, and you just pick that up by clicking the left hand button and just dragging it over. I could do quite a bit of things like this. For example, I could maybe I just want to have a look at the date. Actually, I've just decided that I've just looked at the month and I've changed my mind and I just want to have a look at what people did 2 days ago in Denmark. Okay, so the 27th and 28th. So I can use my control button to click on both of those, and then if I press this up here, it comes up with this little sum here, which I can then pick that up. So in other words, it's taking that 100,000 just over customers, and if I drop that without letting go of my mouse, I can do an and or. So if I go to the and here, you can see of that 100,000 for Denmark, there's only 13,000 transactions in those 2 days. Then I can calculate this again. It'll take a bit longer because it doesn't like filters as much. It has to work a bit harder for that. So this is reasonably good for like train of thought analysis. So yeah, so that will just give me the transactions by department for those 2 days quite quickly. So I can just shove that into Excel. Now that should be quicker hopefully as well. Where's it gone? It must have gone into Excel. Oh, it's here. Yeah. So yeah, that piece of type of analysis is quite easy in Alterian.
Really good.
There's a whole analytical reporting suite that I could take you through, but it probably isn't useful.
No, but this is a good start. This is a good start, yeah. But just seeing it, because we haven't seen it before. So
yeah, I'd advise you just go and play. You can't break it. It gets rebuilt every day. So I'll just try and, there's loads of stuff you can do in here. One thing that might be worthwhile knowing is this. It's called edit database links. So you might be doing a piece of analysis and trying to link, say, the product field with the detail. Now, you might find that doesn't work if it's not automatically linked. So all this does is allow you to create a link. So for example, yeah, so these will be linked, so it probably won't work, but product code here in the product lookup will be linked to product code, if I can find it. And I can't find it. It is in here. It's probably called something slightly different. But I can't find it. Not that. transaction. It's not transaction number. Do you know, I can't find the field that it's supposed to link to. Department, it's not that one. Transaction number, marketing ID. Oh, it might be that one. Yeah, it's that one. Sorry. But, you know, in those spreadsheets that I showed you, sorry, let me just go back slightly. On here, where we have all this documentation, that will show you how everything links together. This Alterian ERD means, I should know what ERD stands for. It essentially demonstrates how all the fields are linked. So, for example, address URN in the address field is linked to address URN in the name field. So if I go now to the detail, I can see retailer SKU number, that's it. Retailer SKU number is linked to product code in the product field. So if you printed this off in sort of A3, for example, big A3 paper, that will show you how everything's linked together. And then if you need to link them, you do it like this.
Okay.
And I had better retailer SKU number. Okay, so product code and retailer SKU number is linked. Sorry, this isn't showing very well just because I can't. Okay. And I can't see right over that corner.
But all variables that you can join do they have the same names?
No.
Okay.
No, that just shows that it didn't. Generally speaking, they'll have the same names, but it doesn't look like, for example, okay, store number here links to preferred store number. Oh, right.
Super. But we shouldn't be afraid of that, and that's good to know that they have different names. Yeah.
No, and so here, the detail, it's called RETL _SQU _NO, which must be shorthand for retailer SKU number, but that links to the product code rather than the same name. So, but generally speaking, it will be same thing. So name URNs here are all linked to name URNs. Logs URN will be the same as well. So yeah, generally speaking, it is. So just put that on this. And you can do that. You can do Venn diagrams. So which is relatively interesting. I'll talk through how you can do a campaign. You can do that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. They're really the most interesting bits. You can also do these things here. So I won't go into too much detail, but aggregated value column essentially allows you to do I'm going to show you. You can do a sum, you can do a max, you can do a count, you can do the average, standard deviation. For me, the stuff that I use, I would use count, I'd use a sum, I'd use a minimum, and I'd use a maximum. That generally are the only ones that I use. Not to say that you couldn't use the others, I'm sure, but I don't think you generally need to use the others. So, in terms of the biggest difference with how to use Alterian versus, say, SAS, it just works differently. It's just a slightly different way of thinking about things. So